Number 18, he created. خلق, the creation, خلق, with his knowledge, بعلمه. So he created the creation with his knowledge. Allah created the world with full knowledge of what is going to happen until the Day of Judgment. He has said, should he not know what he created, whereas he is the most subtle and most aware. Here comes the argument about, some people say these rules and regulations of Islam, Sharia law, is it compatible with our current day environment and life? Well, Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, should he not know what he created? We are the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. Isn't Allah that knows best about us? Definitely. So he knows about his creation. With that, means that we know that Allah Azza wa Jal, who set for us the regulations for our life, because he knows us, he knows his creation, these regulations are the best regulation that can ever be for the human beings. And he has elaborated, with him are the keys to the unseen, the treasures that none knows but he. He knows whatever there is in the earth and in the sea. Not a leaf falls but with his knowledge. There is not a grain in the darkness of the earth, nor anything fresh or dry, but is noted in the clear record. It is he who takes your soul by night and knows all that you do by day. The keys of the unseen. And these are mentioned actually in Surah Luqman as well. He mentioned here that he has the knowledge of the keys of the unseen. The keys of the unseen, as were mentioned as well in Surah Luqman, إِنَّ اللَّهَ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ السَّاعَةِ. He has the knowledge of the hour. Nobody knows about the knowledge of the hour. Even Jibreel alayhi salam doesn't know. وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ. And he knows what are in the wombs. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا. And the soul does not know what it's going to gain tomorrow. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. And the soul will not know in which land it will die. اللَّهُ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ السَّاعَةِ وَيُنَزِّلُ الْغَيْثَ. And he sends down the rain. So these are the 5 keys, the unseen, the keys to the unseen that were mentioned. This verse in Surah Al-An'am speaks about the keys of the unseen, but does not elaborate. In Surah Luqman, Allah mentioned what are these keys, the 5 keys that were mentioned in Surah Luqman that Allah Azza wa Jal knows about them. Creating something, meaning to bring that thing into existence by His will, by Allah's will. Willing implies that He conceptualizes what He wills. So, knowledge conceptualizes will. The conception of what He wills is the knowledge of the will thing. So Allah Azza wa Jal, when He created, He conceptualized it, and that comes out of His knowledge. So Allah Azza wa Jal has the full knowledge about what He created, which is human beings, universe. So He put the system for that to actually perfect their life. Therefore, creation necessarily implies knowledge. When we look at the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal, that definitely indicates the knowledge of Allah Azza wa Jal, which is something lots of times we speak about the atheists when it comes to rejection. For them, they reject the concept of the creator. But when we look at the perfection of the creation, how Allah Azza wa Jal perfected His creation, that implies the full knowledge, the absolute knowledge of Allah Azza wa Jal. But they reject to address that there is a creator with an absolute knowledge who created all of that. And they refer it always to the Mother Nature or the sudden that created everything. The brain has limited potentials for wisdom from Allah, so considering that your brain is everything and can do everything is ridiculous. Lots of people, they will come and say, well, I'm not convinced about the unseen. Well, our brain has lots of defects, and it is part of the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. So it has limitations. So that limitation actually puts boundaries between us and understanding everything. So if the person will not actually follow unless he understands all the details, everything, then that person is actually not going to believe. He's not going to believe. That's why we Muslims are called Muslims, submitting people, because we need to submit to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Our brain is a tool for checking the facts, but has limits, so we use it to look at the creations to know the Creator. That's why we use our brain. Does he who created not know while he is the subtle, the acquainted? The accurate work doesn't come except from ineligible. So when we come, for example, to this camera, you look at the camera, you see how precise it is, how accurate its manufacturing is. You say that behind this camera is an knowledgeable person who made that camera. So when we look at this universe, how precise, how accurate, you know that behind this universe is a knowledgeable creator. And that's how we believe.